The journey preparatory to 2027 general election is gaining momentum. From the national level to the state level, political parties are putting their axes together. However, though, it is also characterized with certain challenges, whether inherent in terms of political parties' preparation or national issues as to whether or not the economy is favorable or is fighting harder. Hello, dear. Thank you so very much for joining us on Political Affairs on Kano TV. My name is Chris Jacobs, and I've been joined by Anas Bala. He is an APC stalwart and a young activist. He joins me now to further the conversation. Anas, it's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you, Chris. I'm grateful once again.
Yeah. Well, sorry, I know you caught cold, but it's still okay.
Yeah, I'm doing good.
All right. Well, talk to me about what you make of the political atmosphere in Nigeria, preparatory to 2027 general elections, because I've seen for the past few days, attacks and counterattacks to that extent that political parties are apprehensive in such a way, while individuals have their own, cup of tea. But the atmosphere is here already, and all in all, is 2027 general elections.
Well, first of all, I think you are right. You have put it in a proper context. This is the first time, anyway, that we are witnessing a kind of different political atmosphere in this country. 2 years down the line of our administration, because I belong to the APC, 2 years down the line of our federal government administration, we've seen, a major tense within the political atmosphere. And, I woke up yesterday with a very disturbing rumors, which I think need to be investigated by the government themselves. There was even an insider reporter from Sahara reporter who says that there was a plan to rig the elections. And I don't believe that, because I believe that the government, of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will not succumb to that particular act. He is a Democrat. And I call on the government, to do the necessary to investigate the matter. And then if it is found that Sahara reporters are untrue on this, a certain actions need to be exerted. And the thing about is there is a quest, there is a growing quest, and in our democracy, I think this sign will give us a signal that our democracy is growing. People are becoming more apathetic, in partaking over the government affairs, and that is why you see that this time around, 2 years down the line of the federal government administration, there was a major political activities. To an extent that INEC is even so worried that why do we have politicians or political actors campaigning even before the time? And they have said that, even though I know that it's a bit difficult for them to control the atmosphere, but I think, we the politicians are going to preach to ourselves so that we focus on service delivery. When it's time, when it's up for the game, we take it up.
I appreciate the fact that you made use of the word quest. Indeed, there is a quest that cut across political parties, individuals as well. But we have also seen successive governments come and gone, but we haven't really felt the tension, for the quest, for the forthcoming 2027 general elections. But as a matter of fact, it sounds or looks as if 2026 does not exist in our calendar, in Nigeria's calendar. Everybody talks about 2027, even before 2026 and all. What do you think would have informed that quest?
Well,
because it's just too overwhelming.
I think I must, been able to factor this within what transpired in the last general election we had, which is the 2023 presidential election. I think political actors might have watched with keen interest how that plays out. And then, the margin, how we won, the APC, comparable to what the Labour Party got and the PDP. It also shows that, it tells the opposition parties that they can still do more. I think these are one of the things that kept getting, the political space so tense, with different activities, because, opposition parties felt that, look, these guys have actually have, a major decline in terms of the, popularity strength, because looking at the margin of how we got, our election in 2015 and 2019, and then what we got in 2023. So that might have informed and give them more confidence to think that, they can strategize and hit more so they can get us about. But like I said, both sides, both we and the opposition parties, because the more the opposition parties are preparing, you don't expect us to, resign back and wait for them until when it's too late to do that. Both we and the opposition parties were up to the game. It's quite unfortunate, but I think this is how it should just, be, because the opposition parties are looking for the power. And we, who are incumbents, we're also planning to make sure that we retain the power so we continue. So basically, this is it. But one thing that signals, if we can all operate within the confines of the law, it shows and it gives a good signal that our democracy is growing.
But I've also seen where opposition parties are accusing the ruling APC of grandstanding, thereby pointing and accusing finger to the APC, to put President Bola Tinubu as a person, as a leader of the APC, of muzzling other political parties, because we've seen, EFCC, interrogating some key figures, in the opposition party, like that of the People's Democratic Party, and particularly those who are in the ADC, those who are in the coalition. Some time ago, it was a former Speaker House of Representatives, Senator Tamuel. I've also seen particularly those who are within the movement of the coalition. So the accusation that is coming from the opposition, might have a little bit of ground in terms of what has happened in recent times.
I think this must have proposed the fact that politicians will always catch to the sentiment of the people. As a young man who is in politics, I believe in the spirit and principles of accountability. And people also, politicians understand this game very well, and they also want to always take advantage of situations, because I think in terms of trials, in terms of questioning people over, the opportunity they've got to serve the nation for a while, it doesn't start with the members of the opposition party. I think when President Bola Tinubu came on board, it even started with the members of the APC. I think Hadi Sirika was there. He was taken by the EFCC to make some report and all that. That's the Minister of Aviation. And also some copious, individuals like the governor of the central bank and all that. And many of the APC people were involved. They were questioning across, to ensure that, people account for their deeds while they were in office. So members of the opposition parties, I just want to encourage this as a young man who is in politics. We should not, be able to politicize, or we should not have the spirit of politicizing whatever government are doing. If you had been given an opportunity to serve the people in public space, then you should understand that at any time you'll be questioned, at any time you'll be called upon to come and account for some of the things you did. That must not necessarily be a member of the opposition. It doesn't care. The institution, I believe, the EFCC is one of the respectable institutions we have in this country, which I think being able to have an institution like the EFCC has given me a confidence that, look, democracy itself is going to give us, some of the good things we're looking for. If actually there's an institution which is set up to checkmate whatever actions, our leaders did afterwards, so they can come back and question, that will actually put a deterrence to those who have, different thinking, that when I got opportunity, I'm going to squander people's wealth and all that.
Well, I would like you to ponder on this. We'll take a short break. But before then, what do you make of the government of inclusivity? Putting everybody, into the same boat. I ask this question because I've seen where eyebrows are being raised as regard to nepotism. We've seen some appointments that are nepotistic in nature, and yet we are talking about inclusivity. Just catch your breath. We'll come back and then talk more on this. All right, you're watching Political Affairs on Camera TV. We'll take a short break. We'll be back in a moment. Glad to know you're there. But if you just joined us, you're watching Political Affairs on Camera TV. I have been speaking with Comrade Anas Bala. He is an APC stalwart and a youth activist. And of course, he's furthered the conversation the more. All right. Now, before the break, I asked you what to make of inclusivity, whether or not the APC government, your party, the APC, is pulling or bringing everybody on board for the betterment and the future of Nigeria. Does the APC really have this mindset, this level of inclusivity?
Well, I think this will reflect on taking a proper picture or view of, the combination of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's team. I think there's a whole lot of balancing in it. And when we talked about this inclusivity, I had a problem with that because Nigeria is such a country that is so wonderful with people. Talk is very cheap. Everybody can talk. The president is in his own wish. This is the first time we are seeing that the president dropping a party line, thinking, picking people from opposition parties, making them to be part of the government and all that. And a lot of people have questioned, because some of the things you just asked me and said that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is strangling opposition parties. These, statements are propping up as a result of some of his actions in ensuring that he involved everybody in the government. We have a minister who is, from the PDP, that is H.E.S.N.Y. Nelson Wike, the Minister of FCT. And then President Bola Ahmed Tinubu were able to bring him home so that, it should just be about service delivery. Let us come and serve Nigerians after the election. But yet you see people are giving it different interpretation, calling it, as a strategy of strangling the opposition. That is not it. And when we look at the government, because sometimes we don't dwell much on the history, what you have today might not necessarily be the same what you have tomorrow, or what you have today may
but we're seeing a kind of a reflection of what we saw during late President Muhammadu Buhari's regime, where that's where the nepotism comes in now, because a lot of people have asked questions, key ministries, agencies, parastatals, have been superintended by people from particular region of the country, and that has gotten Nigeria talking, even though it didn't just start with President Tinubu. That's why I also told you about the late President Muhammadu Buhari's regime also, have this nepotistic.
But I think, I think,
is it an APC thing?
Well, see, Chris, this is not a conversation that I think this we have an ample time to dwell here. People don't even seem to look at that as very well. Both President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the late President Muhammadu Buhari, it wasn't anything like nepotism. When people look at somebody like the former SGF we have, H.E. Boss Gida Mustafa, they say this another. But in the north we have, we are split about almost 3 or 6 zones. We have about 5 zones. We have northwest, 6 northwest, north central, northeast, and again. So these things, when we are picking up, when the federal character scheme has had provided you with an opportunity to make sure that there's an inclusivity, people don't look at it. When you look at somebody from the northeast, another person from the north central, another person from the northwest, if you go, somebody will just give you a data and say all of them are northerners. No, it is an operation of the federal character scheme. When you pick out somebody from Bauchi, you must make sure that you pick out somebody from Adamawa. When you pick out somebody, North has always had. North has always had the larger share, because even from the way the structure of the country is, North has about 19 states. So when you are looking at the Southwest, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu reflection of his team, people don't seem to look at it very well. Some of the people you see here are not all the people from Lagos. Some of the people came from Oshun, another person came from Ondo, another person came from Ekiti. It's a combination of whole. And there are even people who bear Yoruba name from the north. There are people who bear Yoruba name. I know that they serve in this administration. They are from Kwara State. They are from the north. And people, when they see them, they said, look, this is still a Yoruba man. It's still from Lagos. No, I think, if there is any violation of the federal character scheme, that scheme, I respect that scheme very well. They're going to sound to the president and issue him an advice so that we make sure that we have it.
Because Nigerians are talking, and even the so-called federal character, hasn't really, represented the expression of what it entails in such a way that I don't, you cannot completely gratify everybody. You cannot completely serve everybody, but at least to an appreciable level. All right, we don't have much time anyway, but let's bring the conversation to Adamawa State. I've seen in recent times, because all in all, it is preparatory to 2027 general election. And the People's Democratic Party in Adamawa State, of course, has prided itself to the extent that they say there is no opposition in Adamawa. owing to the fact that Governor Umaru Finturi has done incredibly well, that even members of other political parties are giving him some thumbs up, as regard the changing the narrative in Adamawa State. How is the APC coping in Adamawa?
Well, let me first of all say that the APC is well, intact on ground. The APC here in Adamawa State is actually preparing. I think we are ahead of all other major political parties in terms of putting our heads together and putting our house in order so that we'll confront the next election. Now, let me give you, we had a recent by-election here, and which I think has vindicated a lot. All the political parties try to pull weight. We have seen what the government, what the ruling party here were able to do. They've summoned all their best, that is their best 11, the speaker, the SSG, and whatever, commissioners and everybody there. And they were able to pull out what we have because we don't have government here. And then we emerge victorious. That is to show, that is to show and tell everyone that we're well prepared. And again, I do also have a challenge with the way people glorified the current administration here in Adamawa State. I think I cannot just be so selfish to say that I overruled some of the things that the governor have done. He might have, put some things in place. But I think to overrate him as the best governor that we've had in this state, and that is what I will not accept. And then to say that, the PDP have prepared that in 2027 they are going to still take over the Dogiri House from us. That is not going to happen. By the grace of Almighty Allah, 2027 is going to be a different ball game. The APC here in Adamawa State will emerge victorious.
But are you worried? Are you only worried, because of the People's Democratic Party? Are you not concerned that there is a wind, like a wild wind that is blowing the coalition, the ADC? How does the APC intend to contend with both the ruling People's Democratic Party and then the ADC that seem to be coming with a full force?
Well, let me first of all say that some of the people in ADC are my friends, but I think it is quite unfortunate that they have decided to do this so sudden. They've decided to jump in to where I think it is taking them to no man's land. This is a political party that I think that is still a battleground first. To even understand that if the people who have joined in the political party are accepted or not. There are a lot of issues here and there. Even here in Adamawa State, they are still battling a lot. I see, a factional chairman of the ADC who disowned a committee that was set up to resolve the matters within the ADC. So, to some extent, because we are friends and we can joke, I think these are part of the dislocated and probably unbearable, some kind of frustrated politicians that we have here who felt that they are so aggrieved and they cannot have any room for any negotiations, have decided to jump up. The ADC completely, I don't think they are in any picture to disturb the APC. What we are focusing on the government of the day, because we have understood that the government of the day, because based on the by-election we had, can be able to use whatever they have if they had the opportunity to make sure that they retain power. So our major focus is on the government of the day. We'll make sure that, the coming 2027 general election, all the key players, both we, the political parties, the political actors, sister agencies and the INEC, we play fairly and according to the rules, so that whoever emerge victorious, we want to come together to say that, look, let us rally around this administration to move Adamawa State forward, just like we have done to Ahmadu Umar. I think the government of PDP in the state have enjoyed a lot. I can talk a lot, and I can, I myself within my capacity, I can make sure that I put them on a proper, opposition voice, and I make sure that I hit them hard. But we decided to say that, look, we're all Adamawa State people. And I think the beauty of democracy is to ensure that there is a service delivery to the people. Let us give them the support. Let us lower our voice. Let us see when it is time for politics, we're going to engage them.
All for the betterment of Adamawa State.
For the betterment of
but I think, finally, I think perhaps we have gone beyond, because it's like a graft. After the election, politicians will say it is time for governance. And then you draw politics aside. Then, you get to the point where people reach 2027 now, they say now it's time for politics, and then governance is dropped aside.
Exactly.
But working concurrently, both politicking and governance, of course, I think that is what we see happening in Adamawa. Because you cannot completely negate the fact that you will exclude politics from governance.
Exactly.
And we'll see that happen.
Exactly. I think this is really happening, and it will be quite interested in the coming days, because we are almost preparing to our congresses And I think after our congresses, we're going to come up with different kind of strategy, of which we keep the government up to speed, based on trying to put them, in providing accountability to the people, holding them accountable, and also trying to provide to tax them so that they can be providing information. Because information within the government, I understand that the government is doing a lot, but dissemination of information to the public is also another thing. So we tax them on that, and then we'll engage them politically so that we can dismantle them and take over power from them.
All right. Well, looking forward to seeing your Congress, and after which you will come share the outcome of the Congress with us. And I know the PDP has had, its own Congress a couple of weeks ago or days ago. Well, Anas Bala, APC stalwart, youth activist, thank you so very much for finding time to come to talk to us here at Political Affairs.
Thank you, Mr. Chris.
I'd love to see more of you again. I wish you the best in your future endeavors.
Thank you, Mr. Chris.
All right. Well, that is our conversation for today. Thank you so very much for being with us from start to finish. Join us again same time, same station as we come with the first edition of the program. Until then, stay safe. My name is Chris Jacobs. God bless Nigeria.